Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we're going to talk about the three Srila Raghunatha Goswami, Srila Raghunatha Goswami, and Srila Krsnadasa Kaviraja. If you see their lives, then of course they were the Nitya Mukta, eternal servants. I already had it. Okay. They were the eternal associates. Nitya Mukta. But if you see the lives of all three personalities, you can see that they followed the instruction given by their spiritual master. Look at the life. We will go through each one. I'm not going to go through about their birth and their parents because we're not going to remember that anyhow. But I thought we'd talk about the main points from the pastimes of this and what was the instruction given to them and how they followed it. So, and this is what we learned from these great personalities, that how they followed the instruction given by their spiritual master. And we can see in the life of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada given instruction in 1922, just broadcast this message in English language. And he kept that as that instruction he kept as a life and soul in his life. And he kept it. And we can see from all these three personalities, we'll talk about it, what the instruction they had given and how they followed it. And there's our life is. Our life is the same. Now, they all are eternal associates, of course. And Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Yanya. Lord Chaitanya, none other than Radha Krishna. So when Lord Chaitanya of these personalities, they are in the Krishna's pastime as Manjaris. We'll talk about it. But when the Lord appeared as Lord Chaitanya, the Krishna in the mood of Radharani, then these associates also appear to help in to assist in his pastimes, of course. We know Lord Chaitanya is not Radha Krishna, but at the same time, he appears as a devotee. And he himself set an example of how to live a devotional life. So same way these great personalities did the same thing in their lives. And another thing is that if you look at their lives, then someone was there to guide them in the beginning. Look at all three personalities. And this is our life also. We didn't come to Krishna consciousness just like that. Someone was praying for us. Someone was praying, and that's why we are here. In case of Raghunath Das Goswami, he was a only son. And his father, Govardhan, and his Govardhan's brother, they were the multi-millionaire at that time, 500 years ago. An only son. But, of course, he is a Rati Manjari in the Krishna's Vrindavan pastime. But he He was renounced. And we say in our devotees' lives also. We see in our ISKCON movement. There are devotees who are the son of a multi-millionaire. If you go to the West, I'm taking example of Giriraj Swami, son of a multi-millionaire. His father wanted to give him the $1 million to live Hare Krishnas, but he didn't do it. And they went through so much austerities to open the Bombay land. I heard, imagine the person who is brought up in the billionaire's house, who has everything. And he is in Vrindavan, he's in Bombay, and he has a fever, and it is so hot. There is no temple at that time. And he had a fever, he was sleeping under the table. But the whole point was all these previous our Srila Prabhupada, disciples, they are gone through so much difficulties. But one thing they had was because they had the full faith in Srila Prabhupada. They had full faith in Srila Prabhupada. That's why they are able to do it. Faith. And they continue doing it. So here we see that he had the Raghunath Das Goswami, he had an association of Haridas Thakur when he was a little boy. And Haridas Thakur had told him about Lord Chaitanya. He said, if in our lives, someone approached with the books, and they talk about Srila Prabhupada and his books, and we come in touch with. Similarly. So, because he had he had that association of Haridas Thakur, and he talked about Lord Chaitanya. And of course, he was renounced from the beginning because he was an eternal self, eternal associate. But how they are playing the part, in the lives of and how they are teaching us that we follow in the footsteps of them. We cannot do what they had done it. We cannot. Raghunath Das Goswami was sleeping only 1 hour, 1.5 hours. It's not possible. Not for me, I can tell you that. Or not able to have just the 1 cup of the buttermilk. I will have prasadam, good prasadam. Hare Krishna is the kitchen religion. If the devotees are given prasadam, good prasadam, and on time, the management have less complaints. I tell you that. I have managed it, I know. But if you don't have a good prasadam and not on time, you better be ready because you will have complaints. So many complaints you will have. So, of course, when the Lord Chaitanya came first time, at that time, of course his Acharya, Balram Acharya, had taught him about the Vaishnava philosophy, principles of Vaishnavism, Raghunatha Das Goswami, And then, of course, he came in touch with Lord Chaitanya. And of course, Lord Chaitanya, he came in touch at that time. Lord Chaitanya, of course, recognized right away that he is my eternal associate. Then Lord Chaitanya went to, this is after Lord Chaitanya had taken sannyas. See? But second time we met again, every time Lord Chaitanya came in the Bengal area, then Lord Raghunath Das would want to go to visit him. But now his father, his parents, they were devotees. They were not ordinary person. But they were not expecting their only son is going to renounce. Many of our Indian families, they are pious, they are religious, but they don't expect their son to become Hare Krishnas. You stay at home and you chant Hare Krishna. You worship here at temple at home. You worship the deities at home. You don't need to be just go. They didn't expect that Raghunath will do that. So every time they were millionaires, so they would send always a guards with him. When Raghunath went to see Lord Chaitanya, they would send a guard in to make sure that he comes home back safe, not renounced. See. So then, second time when he met, then Lord Chaitanya told him that you go home and you act like a worldly person. But internally, you always remember Krishna. Always chant Hare Krishna. So of course he did it. He was managing his father's estate and he married. His wife was the coming from the heaven. So beautiful. Only son, multimillionaire's son, good wife. Who wants to live it in this age? Right? Goal of the life, most of the time, goal of the life of the people is to be multimillionaire and have a good wife and a good family. So this personality had everything, but he was not. He was renounced. See? He says Raghunath was famous from his heart with of course. Then he said that of course. Then another point we see here that you cannot approach Lord Chaitanya directly. If you want Lord Chaitanya, you have to approach Lord Nityananda. If you have mercy of Lord Nityananda, you will be able to have the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And if you have mercy of Lord Nityananda, you have mercy of Radharani. And with mercy of Radharani, you have mercy of Krishna. So Lord Nityananda is our Adi Guru, Balaram. Balaram Hoilanithai. See. So of course, when Lord Nityananda came at the Panihati, at that time, Raghunath went to see him, have a darshan, and they stayed at a distance because he was thinking I am the worldly minded person. Of course, Lord Nityananda called him, and in joking word, he said, you are a thief. He's telling to Raghunath, because you are stealing my property, and my property is Lord Chaitanya. You are crossing over me and going to Lord Chaitanya. You see. So he said that now what you have to do is you have to feed all these Vaishnavas, the yogurt and the dahi and the rice, chuda. You have to feed all of them. That was Raghunath, no problem for that. Raghunath did it. And Raghunath, of course, Lord Chaitanya. And that Lord Chaitanya came there. Raghunath could see Lord Chaitanya came in that festival, Panihati festival, which we celebrate every year. And Lord Chaitanya came, Raghunath could see that Lord Chaitanya had come here with the mercy of Lord Nityananda. So of course, and Lord Nityananda put his lotus feet on the hair of the Raghunath and said, now you will be able to cross over all the difficulties, because his parents were always giving him, would not allow him. So, and then of course, his mother thought that I should tie him up with a rope, with a pillar. But the Govardhan, his father is saying, Raghunath's father is saying that if vast wealth and wife cannot bind him to this kingdom, you think the rope can do it? It's not possible. Of course, then Raghunath escaped, and then he went to Jagannath Puri to meet. Now, of course, there's another point we can learn that Lord Chaitanya instructed is what Lord Chaitanya gave Raghunath under the care of Swarup Damodar. Similarly, our lives also happens. Our spiritual master tells that you serve under so and so personality. That is the order, that is the instruction to us. So of course he stayed under them, and of course we know he stayed there for 14 years or something, 14 or 16 years in Jagannath Puri, and he heard all the pastime. He had the diary of the Sarup Damodar was writing the diary, and that diary Lord Raghunath Das Goswami had it. You see, and this is the important instruction Lord Chaitanya gave to Raghunath Das. He said, "Do not talk like materialistic people or hear what they say." Now, imagine, think about it. Lord, everybody is given instruction according to where they stand. Of course, for us, four regulated principle chanting 16 rounds, that's common for everybody. But besides that, we all are given specific instructions. And Gopal Krishna Maharaj was very good at it. I remember. Gopal Krishna Maharaj, he would give specific instruction for specific devotee. Am I right? I remember myself. He gave me specific instruction when I was serving under him in Delhi temple as a temple president. And I still remember that. And I know he gave each devotee, each of his disciple, particularly management, he gave the specific instruction because he knew where this devotee is standing. So here, Lord Chaitanya is giving the same instruction. You can see, we see here what he's saying. Do not talk like materialistic people or hear what they say, because he's coming from the rich family. And from rich family, they're going to talk about it. Right? Then do not eat very palatable food. Hare Krishna. Do not eat palatable food. Because he knows, Lord Chaitanya knows that he is coming from the rich family. He has it. He has all the opulences. And nor should you unnecessarily dress according to fashion. Listen to this, all these instructions. Exactly, he had to do opposite what he get it. Then do not accept honor, but after all, respect to others. See, person who are rich, who are good, they are honored by everybody. It's natural. He said, no, don't accept any honor. Respect others. Always chant the holy name of Lord Krishna, and within your mind, render service to Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. Exactly, Raghunath Das Goswami followed this instruction in his life. Same as Srila Prabhupada, same as all the previous acharyas. And that is our life. If we follow which is instruction given to us personally, our life is successful. We're going to go back home, back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada is going to take us. No doubt about it. But we'll have to follow it. Of course, then after when Lord Chaitanya left, and then he stayed for a while, he served Sarup Damodar, and when Sarup Damodar left, then he decided that now he's alone, so he wanted to actually go to Govardhan and commit suicide. But Lord Chaitanya had told him that you will go to Vrindavan and you stay under the Rupa and Sanatan. Rupa and Sanatan were the heart of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya he invested all his heart in Rupa and Sanatan. So we can see that even the Raghunath, we will see the Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, same thing. He was told by Lord Chaitanya, go to Vrindavan and serve under the Sanatana, Rupa and Sanatana. You see. And of course, when he went to Vrindavan, he would be staying on the bank of the Radhakund. Now, Lord Chaitanya also had given him the Shila, Govardhan Shila. I think that Shila is somewhere there in some temple is still there. Let's see. And of course, Raghunath Das was so renounced that he says that he was on the bank of the Radhakund. At that time, Radhakund Shyam could have not constructed when he was there. You see, he didn't have a hut. He would just sit on the bank of the Radhakund, and chant Hare Krishna. And sometime tiger and tigress would come there. And he's so absorbed in the chanting holy day, he didn't even notice that tiger and tigress is coming. And Krishna had to come to protect him. And Sanatan saw that. So Sanatan kind of chastised him. Can you build a hut, little hut? But then again he didn't do it. So again he was chanting in the heat, the sun. I mean, you all know, you all are Brajvasis staying here, to stay in the month of, now from the March usually, right? March, April, May, June, July, oh my gosh. Staying here. All glories to all of you. Staying in Vrindavan, continuing service. So Radharani had to come herself to cover his head. So Sanatan saw that again. Sanatan told him to build the hut. So finally he built a little hut. Of course. So this is it says that from this great saint we may learn the valuable lessons of sensual control, not for a show of physical powers, for the ultimate end of love of God. Of course, he wrote Stavmala Dant Keli Chintamani Mukta Charita. He is the Prayojanacharya. Lord Chaitanya told us three things, right? Sambandha, Abhidheya, Prayojana. And Prayojana is the ultimate goal of life. And the Raghunath Das Goswami was an example of this Sambandha, Abhidheya, and at the end of Prayojana. So this is the life of Raghunath Das Goswami. And of course, we can try to, don't try to imitate, please. It's not worth it. Just we, according to our capacity, we do best what we can. We know the ultimate goal is that, but we are individual. We all have individual relationship with the Lord. We all individual relationship. So there is no comparison in Krishna consciousness. In material world, there is comparison. There is no comparison. You do service according to your capacity. Of course, life is meant to austerities, so some austerities are already there. However, the austerity is chanting 60 rounds and follow four regulative principles itself an austerity. So we do it. Now, of course, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Lord Chaitanya considered Raghunath Bhatta singing, cooking, and recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Chaitanya told him to be, Lord Chaitanya considered him unparalleled. Nobody is parallel to Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. He was cooking. He was a son of Tapan Mishra. Son of Tapan Mishra in Banaras. Lord Chaitanya had told him, Tapan Mishra, Chandrasekhar, to stay in Banaras. But Lord Chaitanya was going to come in the future to defeat all these Mayavadis in Banaras. So Tapan Mishra was in Banaras, and at that time, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami appeared. And of course, when Lord Chaitanya came to Banaras after visiting Vrindavan, then he came to Banaras, and at that time, Raghunath was a little boy, and he served Lord Chaitanya. We can see Gopal Bhatta Goswami, same way, right? Lord Chaitanya was 4 months in South India. Venkat Bhatt, his father Venkat Bhatt, right? And go and Gopal Bhatt, right? Gopal Bhatt. He served Lord Chaitanya as a little boy. So similarly here, Raghunath Bhatt also, he served Lord Chaitanya when he was little boy. He served him and he would have his remnants of his food. He would massage Lord Chaitanya and he would wash his feet. He was attracted to Lord Chaitanya and he decided to go to Puri, but on the way he stopped to Bengal. Bengal, he came in touch with Ramdas. Ramdas was a devotee of Lord Ramchandra. Lord Ramdas liked Raghunath Bhatt, so he connected with him and they both went to Puri. But then Lord Chaitanya instructed to him that you go back home. You go and serve your parents. You serve your parents, and then when your parents are no more on this planet, then you go to Vrindavan. And while Lord Raghunath Bhatt, when he was in Puri, he would cook for Lord Chaitanya. He was expert cook. Expert cook. And Lord Chaitanya ate everything what Raghunath cooked without any hesitation. You see. He showed the world how one can make great spiritual advancement by serving exalted souls and eating their remnants. This is the Raghunath Bhatta Goswamis. And of course, when he came after his parents were no more on this planet, then of course he went to Vrindavan under the care of Sanatan Goswami. And at that time, Brother Govindev was there. And under the guidance of Rupa Goswami, he served Radha Govindev here. And under him, they built a temple, big temple here, with red stones, hand done. And he would make the jewelry, and he would make the jewelry and different paraphernalia to worship the paraphernalia for Radha Govind. Here we learned he was absorbed in Krishna Katha. Now he would sing, he would recite Srimad Bhagavatam in the 3 or 4 different melodies, all the shlokas. He would recite. He was expert. He was absorbed in Krishna Katha that he never heard or spoke worldly topics of criticizing devotees. This is what we learn. Gramya Katha is everywhere, isn't it? Even in Vrindavan, when we come, we hear all the time. But he was very careful. He believed, it is important, all the Vaishnavas are sincerely serving the Lord according to their realization, and therefore one should overlook their faults. This is his speaking. He served as a Rasa Manjari, one of Sri Radharani's Ashta Manjari, Radha Govinda's Nitya Leela. This is some of the pastime of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and then of course now Krsnadasa Kaviraja Goswami. Krsnadasa Kaviraja Goswami. How this great personality, they say something and their desires are fulfilled by Lord Krishna. The great personality has a desire, and that desire are fulfilled by Krishna want to make sure that what my devotee has told, that I have to fulfill his desire. See? Because Lord Nityananda told in the dream to Krishnadasa Kaviraja Goswami that you go to Vrindavan. Do not be afraid, he said. You will attain all things in Vrindavan. This is it. You will attain all things in Vrindavan. This is it. And he did it. This is the instruction. Say. His Diksha Guru was, of course, Raghunath Das Goswami. He stayed at the bank of the Shyamkund near Manasapavana, which is Radharani's midday bathing place. Srila Jiva Goswami gave him the title of Kaviraj, king of the poets, because he had written Govind Lilamrita. Govind Lilamrita was his poetic masterpiece of Govind Lilamrita. And Jiva Goswami told him to be Kaviraj, so Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. All the devotees, at that time, all the devotees were hearing the Chaitanya Bhagavat, which is the Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. But devotees wanted to hear Lord Chaitanya's later pastimes. So they approached, of course, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami to write. And of course, Krishnadas Kaviraj, he was old at that time. He was staying the bank of the Radhakund. When we go to Radhakund Parikrama, we say his place, where he stayed. And how Krishna is arranging to see that Raghunath Das Goswami is also there. And Raghunath Das Goswami, he was already in Jagannath Puri, and he had noticed all the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. And of course, Swarup Damodar had written the diary. Raghunath also had that diary. So they would, on the bank of the Radhakund, Raghunath Das Goswami tell all about the pastime Lord Chaitanya to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and he would write it. See? So of course, he went for the blessings. He went to Radha Madan Mohan temple, asked for because everybody told Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami to write the Lord Chaitanya's later pastimes. So he went to Madan Mohan temple, and Madan Mohan garland fell to him, and he considered this is the indication of divine sanction by Madan Mohan to have me write the Chaitanya. He had a wonderful power of speaking without offending, even when rebuking his opponents. He had a wonderful power of speaking without offending, even when rebuking his opponents. This is interesting. There was a sticker, in the car. Car has a sticker. It's reminding me, and I remind every day myself. It says, "Live without." Live without, live without pretending. Live without pretending means honesty. Then he said that hear without defending, which is humility. Then speak without offending, sensitivity. And the love without depending, purity. Reminds, isn't it? So this is what here this Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. He had a wonderful power of speaking without offending, even when rebuking was opponents. Although he was an erudite scholar, a strict ascetic, what he write about himself? Now this is real humility. I am deaf, dumb, wholly illiterate, worldly minded, and lower than a worm in a stool. He was a humility personification of humility. Like Raghunath Das Goswami was the personification of austerity. And Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, of course, he was a great cook. He was a, you know, he was a recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Each individual had that Krishna had given them that power, that talents. And that's what our Krishna consciousness is. In Krishna consciousness, we all are given different talents. We all have different talents. Everybody. Krishna consciousness, we use their talents in the service of the Lord. That's what Krishna consciousness is. You use your talent to serve the Lord. So here, he was a living example of humbler than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree. Now here it says, by associating with Krsnadasa Kaviraja Goswami, one will develop the Vaishnava qualities of humility, tolerance, integrity, equanimity, greatness, purity, selflessness, patience, kindness, my gosh, gravity, freedom from material desires, control over six passions, friendliness, honoring all beings, silent, expert, poetic. Surrender to Krishna. In Braj, he is the Kasturi Manjari, one of the 8 most intimate maid servants of Srimati Radharani. So these are all the great personalities who are from them we can learn from their life, and we can imbibe something we can imbibe in our life. Even we imbibe little bit from what they had done. Our life is successful. It's 8:45. Any questions, any comments? If someone, Maharaj, you want to add something, please. No? Anybody wants to add something which I didn't cover about their life? Okay. Nobody has. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for wonderful class. So, actually, you mentioned how Srila Raghunatha Bhatta when he was doing bhajan, and then Srila Sanatana Goswami instructed him to build a hut, but he didn't comply. So, obviously, there would have been something behind it. So, how to understand? Because he would not disobey his seniors who like Guru to him, like Srila. So, how to understand this? He was not seeing his comfort. He was not seeing his comfort. He was so absorbed in following the instruction of his spiritual Lord Chaitanya's instruction. See? And of course, he was, and then after second time when Sanatan saw that Radharani herself had to come, he was absorbed he was not interested in his comfort. He didn't see his bodily comfort. This is very high position. It's very high. They are associates of Lord Krishna, of Lord Chaitanya, right? So that is the reason. And then of course he followed, ultimately followed. Sanatan said, build little hut. Krishna had to come. Radharani, our Ishtadev Radharani, you're taking service from Radharani. To Ishtadev, you have to give service. Right? When Rupa Goswami prepared a sweet rice for his brother Sanatan, right? Sanatan came to the third Kadamba. The Rupa Goswami was staying at the third Kadamba, right? And Sanatan, his elder brother, came. So Rupa thought that I should prepare something for him, right? So he thought of just a thought in the mind. Just thought in the mind came. Radharani comes as a little girl and brings the all the paraphernalia of the sweet rice, all the ingredients of the sweet rice, right? Radharani herself prepare, and Rupa is so absorbed in chanting that he doesn't even notice anything. He said, "Baba, can I cook? Yeah, my mother, cook, you cook." And then Sanatan ate that, and sweet rice was so prepared by Radharani. And then Sanatan said, "Wait a minute, who came? Someone? How did you get this? All the ingredients?" Well, one girl came, and she brought her mother told her to bring everything and cook. So she prepared it. Can you taste it? Please you taste. Sanatan said, "Taste, Rupa, you taste it." See. And then, of course, Sanatan kind of really chastised him, say, Radharani is our Ishta Dev. Taking service from her. See. So it's really here that Sanatan said that, come on, Krishna had to come, Radharani had to come. Can you be a little hurt? Is that okay? Another question. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you for a wonderful class.
Your blessings and your mercy.
So, it's a question that whenever you are talking that we should not talk like offending others. But what happens is I also feel that I should not offend others. I prepare my mind also. But at the instant, the anger comes automatically, like something not proper, then the anger comes and then devotee get offended. So this Krsnadasa Kaviraja Goswami is a wonderful quality of not offending and speaking like that. So what we can do, how can we prepare ourselves so that we can speak without offending and have more elaborate response?
I'm not a good example for that. Ask Maharaj. Maharaj can tell you that. Well, we know that we think that the enemy is outside. We think enemy is outside, but enemy is within our heart. All the enemies are sitting within my heart. So we are working on that, remove that enemies from our heart by chanting Hare Krishna. Right? Chanting Hare Krishna mantra is so powerful that all this dirt will go away. But we have to be patient, enthusiastic, and determination. Right? These three things. So sometimes, anger comes because we know that the lust is there within our heart. Calm is there. Right? So we work on it. We all are working on it, right? I'm also working on it. We have to work on it. Gradually it will go. Whenever we offend someone, then we offer obeisances to that personality. Right? Ask for forgiveness. Vaishnava forgive. It takes time. Krishna consciousness is not the overnight process. That I'm going to be Rasa Manjari or whatever Manjari. That we are not on that. Let's just be the follower of servant of the servant of the servant of Srila Prabhupada and just do our service and let Prabhupada take care of that. So, is that okay? Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. We hear how Lord Chaitanya says that in every town and village go and teach the signs of Krishna. But then we see in the life of Goswamis, they are predominantly engaged in just chanting. So, how do we understand this?
How do we understand that? Of course, we know they were the eternal associates of the Lord. And they were setting an example for us, how they lived the life. So we can also try to live a life, but our movement is a preaching movement, sharing movement. If you don't share, then we become stagnant. So as we share more and more this Krishna consciousness, we more and more go up. So Srila Prabhupada's movement is the preaching movement, sharing movement. That's why Srila Prabhupada has written all these books and started with different programs. So we follow that, and time will come when we'll be also somewhere after a certain age, try to find a place in Vrindavan and just chant Hare Krishna and serve the deities. And even in Vrindavan staying, you share Krishna consciousness. So these Goswamis, when we learn from their life, we are learning. We are seeing how they were living. And when we are outside, we can live the same life. Right? Even we are not in Vrindavan, wherever we are, whatever country we are in, it's the same life. Hare Krishna, they have the same life, right? 4:30 Mangal Arati, wherever, which temple you go in the world. Right? Same schedule. Everywhere in the world you go. So we live the same. Have a prasadam. So we try to imbibe in our life whatever we can. But don't imitate, that's the point. Is that okay? Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you so much. One thing I want.
He was my first president, by the way, in New York.
Remember the first day, welcome to
And he gave me the shelter to stay in his room. He has a small room and they said, "You stay with." So he allowed me to stay with him. Yes, Prabhu.
because I knew who you were.
No, you didn't know that at that time.
I knew it. I wasn't doing anything.
Okay, go ahead.
Just want to comment, because this is a lengthy topic, speak without offending, for Vaishnavas, because there's a few little footnotes on that. There's a few footnotes on that, because I remember in the Henry Street Temple, there was a deviation on the part of the temple president here.
Yeah, we know that. Go ahead.
Another story.
Yes.
So, devotees did not want the offense. And then, to make a long story short, when Prabhupada came, he found out about all this. He said to the senior devotees in particular, he said, why didn't you say anything? The devotees' response was, we didn't want to be offensive, Prabhupada. We didn't want. And Prabhupada said, I've asked you to surrender, but I've never asked you to surrender your intelligence. Which means, we're studying Shastra, we're observing the good example of exalted Vaishnava, et cetera, et cetera.
But on the other hand, then there's the other hand about what is offensive speaking. If the honest and humble observation is brought to light about something that needs to be rectified or addressed, that would not be in the category of offensive speaking. And then another thing that I always think about is Bhagavad-Gita course says there's three occurrences where you criticize. That always blew my mind. One, when it is beneficial for you. Two, when it is beneficial for the devotee that you are critiquing. And three, when the critique is beneficial for society. So the statement that speak without offending, there has to be a footnote to it. So because in the course of our traveling, I managed 7 different temples on the world, always had to come up with this particular issue. What is actual offensive speaking and what is not.
Thank you for the comment. But I would add one more thing.
Please.
We have to be very careful. Yesterday I was walking here. I mean, it's interesting. I was chanting my japa and one devotee came up and he's telling me, like, look, in this temple, so and so is this temple present doing so and so things. What should we do? We should kick him out. I said, that's not my business. If you if you really have that, then go talk with their GPC. I'm not a manager. I'm not some manager of that temple. I have nothing to do with that. Talk with the GPC. And then, but he's putting his leg and say, I have to kick him out. I said that, well, that's not going to be the right thing. You talk with GBC and leave up to them. They will decide. What am I going to do?
Well, I think that point is the Prabhupada, the genius of Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON society is that he did consider those kinds of things and he set up a strategy or a structure. And like what you're saying right there, that's the structure. First, as Vaishnavas, we should address the Vaishnava personally first.
But that's also if you have relationship.
Right. That's
Because if I don't have relationship with you, whatever I tell is going to go from here to here. Who cares? Who are you to tell me? So I have to have that close relationship with you. Then I can tell. Otherwise, I have to tell if you are senior, we have to tell another senior, GBC or whatever, that look, this is what I'm seeing. What is up to you? Or I've seen this. I might be wrong, but this is what I saw. Now you all decide. This is it. My task is finished.
And it all boils down to studying Vaishnava culture.
Culture, yeah.
Because when criticism against us, then it's valid. Like the Kinship Krsnadasa Kaviraja Maharaj went to the Calcutta temple, the old Calcutta temple, walking up the stairs. One of the brahmacharis at the top of the stairs said, "Oh, here comes the Krishna, Kinship Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj. He's coming for his chapatis." Everyone knew it was such an insult. So Prabhupada told us you could deserve it. His reaction was, Maharaj's reaction was, he started laughing. He started laughing and laughing. He said, "You know me. You are the only one who knows me."
That I'm coming for chapati.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we have a tendency to judge. Who am I to judge other people? That's the point. Here it says everybody is according to their capacity doing some service. So why have to make the judgment on others? You see, but that's we have brought this material qualities when we come to Krishna consciousness. So this is where we have to work on it, introspective. Myself, I have to be introspective.
I have a mantra I chant. Krishna doesn't do things to me, he does things for me. So whatever is said or whatever is done, I know it's for my benefit.
I know time is over. Let me tell you this. The time is over. Done. Finish. Tribhuvan Nath. Tribhuvan Nath Prabhu, who was a Srila Prabhupada disciple in London, and he had a cancer. Was a great personality. Last lecture he gave in London, I think what it was in London. He said, "This is the last time you probably see me." Hare Krishna. So he said that, remember three things. You are not the controller. You are controlled by others. You are controlled. You are not an operator. You are operated by others. Or you are operated. See, and you are not a doer. You are an instrument. This is the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, he said. So he said Krishna consciousness is a transformation of the heart. We are here to transform our heart. See. So we all are here, anywhere in the world, we are taking Krishna consciousness, transfer our heart. That's what we need. Outside, externally is external. See? And that's what we are working on it every day, right? But it was really, I remember that instruction every day. This instruction of his Tribhuvan. Okay? Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. You have something to say? Go ahead.
Something very quick. We were discussing about the criticism part. Once, Srila Prabhupada's senior godbrother, His Holiness Bhakti-yoga Maharaj, some of his disciples came and complained about ISKCON devotees, and they quoted ISKCON devotees as stating that Swami Maharaj, A.C. Bhakti Swami, said that my godbrothers are simply ringing the bell and singing. And when Sridhar Maharaj heard that, he said that he is the commander-in-chief of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan band. At least he is giving us the position of ringing the bell. So that way he silenced all the criticism in a very nice way. So
Positive.
positive way.
Exactly. We see in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Varaha, the Hiranyaksha says many things bad about Varaha, but the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, they put it in positive way. And that's what the pure devotees see, that in a positive direction. Am I right?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, first point, without living without pretending, all other vices may be nullified.
Sorry?
Without
Living without pretending
pretending,
means the honesty.
all other vices will be nullified, go off.
Yes.
And my question is, except Prabhupada, who lived without pretending, is there anybody now in this era?
You are probably yourself.
Pardon?
You probably yourself is an example, probably. I don't know.
No. Not enough.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Krishna.